Sup. The opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and Future Bachelor only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity. This fun podcast may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast.
All right. Hey, welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And this is episode 127. Whoa.
Hey.
I get really scared every time I say the number because I'm like, I think about it as I'm starting up to say it. I mess
Thank
up.
God, I write it in places for
Right,
us.
yeah. I'm like, whoa, I guess I was. But anyways, we started off with that vibe because
Why not?
It just is what it is. Nelly Furtado, and Timbaland.
Iconic.
You know, Timbaland was making some dope ass beats back then. You know, that one, I think we did one a couple months back with the Timbaland and Timberlake and Nelly Furtado. But that was definitely an era of like those beats that were just so good. And that song, oh my God, like it gets me in the mood. I'm going to listen to it probably after the show. Again, you know why? Because it's that good.
Again, why not?
And
just
you know where I'm going to listen
repeat.
to it? On the Future Bachelor Podcast playlist on Spotify, where we put all of our songs. It's easy. Just pop it in at any party. Search for us there. V,
Hey.
What's going on? How are you doing?
You know, it was another weekend of birthdays for your girl.
Yeah, and people are born every day. That's interesting.
They are.
That's so crazy. Anyways, so what'd you get into?
We went to the botanical gardens for friend Kelsey's birthday because she's a big plant person, and almost so much so that I have like my minimal amount of plants that I barely keep alive that you can't see. They're off screen, but they're in the corner and they're doing okay. But she has so many plants and so many things. I'm just like, wow. So it was a very perfect birthday for her. We all got a little tipsy tips before heading to the botanical gardens. So we were probably, quite the guests at the botanical gardens in our masks, having a good time. So that was fun. And then finally, we've been talking. Honestly, Tech has gotten so much airtime on this frickin' podcast because, I gave him a birthday shout out. I talked about last weekend how last week how we didn't get to do his original birthday plan, but we did another birthday plan. And then finally, this past weekend, we got to go on the boat for his birthday, which was, we all said that we were having such chaotic energy because all of us that were there were just like, a hungover / kind of on one from the night before. So we were all and we had to go to Publix to get some pub subs to have on the boat because we were going to be out there for hours. And everyone in Publix seemed like that they didn't know how to live. It was their first day of life on Earth. And and that's coming from us. And that's coming from us.
I've been there, though, when you're hungover and everyone's just like, how does this cash register work? How do you cut meat?
No, literally, it took us 30 minutes to get 2 pub subs. The workers kept walking away. They kept coming back. They kept doing 5 things.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. So yeah, it was wild, but we made it through. We had a great time. It was a great, I have some new tan lines from that. And then I also gave blood this week. So I feel like I was pretty exhausted on Monday after I gave blood because, you give a pint of blood and then you're done. And
yeah, that's usually you would want to get fluids put into you, after a weekend like that, it sounds like. Well,
yeah. Well, I hydrated well because I think beat one of my records. So I'm really competitive and I time myself whenever I give blood because I'm used to giving blood with other people or whatever, and we try to see who can fill up the bag the fastest. And I filled it up in less than 5.5 minutes. And I think that might be a new record for me. So that means I was pretty hydrated. So I did a good job.
Interesting game. Well, I just kind of did something every day too. I hung out with the Parker boys on Friday. Yeah, you had plans? I had plans too. V. You the only one with plans, V? No, I had plans too. I hung out with my friends, the Parker brothers. I met them through Chef. But they're just really funny, and they remind me of each other a lot. And then I met their cousins, who are also named Parkers. So there were like 4 of them. They were all like it was awesome to just be around 4 people that are family and that just act like each other. So we went out to this like seafood place like that. Like they had a deck and stuff. So we were like, all right, we'll go out and eat, outside and stuff. So that was fun. On Saturday, I hung out with one of our compadres that we've had on the show before, Stu Point oh.
I was about to say, I saw that on the outline, and I was like, oh, wow, you actually saw Stu Point oh. Like, you said that you were going to hang out with him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a man of my word, so...
Manifesting.
But, no, with Stu, it was cool because, like, he moved here, and then coronavirus hit, and it was just, like, really weird times, and... I've been wanting to meet up with him, so we went out and grabbed a drink, and then ended up coming back here for a barbecue at my apartment complex my neighbor was throwing, and then Caleb invited me to go watch the Indy 500. He loves like the racing and all that stuff, so it was pretty crazy to watch. Like, I mean, I haven't seen any sports yet. I saw like a basketball game on Friday where like the virtual crowd, like, but there's no one in the stands really and stuff. Yeah. So it's just really weird to watch these sports, like, and then there's no one on like the whole huge stadium that's made for people to like watch. So that was cool. So that's pretty much all I did all weekend. So. But what are we getting into? When we catch this flight to a little place I like to call, I don't know, quick hits. What do we got for some quick hits this week?
So we've got a throwback update. So TBT to when, was it called Project Blue Varsity? That's what it was like.
Oh yeah. Well, I think you're really the one that's good with the name. It was like Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues, yeah. Everyone's yelling at their like phones and stuff, being like, "Idiots!"
Blue Varsity. Idiots. We need to have like a drop from like Ren and Stimpy. It's like, you idiots, like whenever we have like a brain fart like that, because it happens and we just need something to fill in the space until we think of it.
Listeners,
we typically get the answer, and if we don't Google it, whatever.
Just know that we are Googling it afterwards, so don't fucking tell us otherwise.
Yeah. You don't need to tell us I told you so, because we told ourselves.
Anyways, so, but yes, that Lori Loughlin is being sentenced to
Becky from Full House.
Yes, Aunt Becky. She is being sentenced to 2 months in jail, as well as a $150,000 fine, 150 hours of community service. And then her husband is getting 5 months in jail, a $250,000 fine, and 250 hours of service.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because, what's it called? Felicity Huffman only got like 14 days, right? So they got like
something
4 times.
like that. But I think they also did a little bit more than she did. I think they paid a little bit more, like double how much she paid for people to like get people into places.
That, and also like she just kind of was like, yeah, I did it. Give me the punishment. Let me get the shit over with. I feel like Lori Loughlin and her family like tried their hardest to like.
They're like, us? Who?
No, yeah, exactly. But like Felicity Huffman is like, I did it. I'm going to do the time. I did the crime, So I think they went a little harder on Lori Loughlin.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess like they've been freaking out because, they're going to prison. As one probably would do, is freak out before going to prison.
Especially like when you're a parent and like you're like, mom's going, wait, dad's going too. Like, I would be so sad. Imagine both your parents went to jail.
Yeah, so I guess they requested so that their sentences don't overlap. So, like, at least one of them's home with their daughter.
Oh, that's so nice.
I know.
That they're white.
The power of being like...
That is so crazy. Well, good for them. At least
I guess. I know it seems pretty lame that they're like, a lot of people were saying stuff being like, all right, like they're only getting 2 months for, stuff that they fully did, while there's like, other moms in jail for, like weed charges or things like that, or like charges that they didn't commit for like years. So things to think about.
Yeah, well, some more things to think about. What else we got going on?
So we've got an update the Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lane situation.
What's up?
So Meg, went live last Thursday. So, when our podcast had just dropped, and saying how she's like, let me just clear some stuff up. Tory Lane shot me. And she cleared up, how he had been like using his team, his publicist or whatever, to get like the blog saying stuff about her, or like lying.
Allegedly.
That's what she's saying, due to what all was being put out there based on what she thinks was coming from him. And then she's like, because she talked a lot about how she was like trying to keep this whole thing off the internet, or was trying to like not make it big news. And she's like, and she talks about how when the police initially came, she didn't initially say that it was Tory, because she said that she was scared. And that, she's like, there's black people. She's like, we're black people, and like the police were there. And she's like, how am I not supposed to be afraid? And she's like, I wasn't gonna like throw him under the bus, because she's like, I wasn't gonna say whatever, because like she's like, then what if any of us like started to say anything or whatever, like we could have all gotten shot, like whatever, stuff along those lines. So that's what she's been saying about why it came out the way it did, and why, and she just pretty much like went off being like, why Tory was he keeping up with all the lies, and everything like that, when she's like, all she did was try to protect him from the beginning, and that's how she gets repaid.
Yo, how do you think this would be different if it was like Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson?
I mean, if it was Ariana Grande
and Pete
Davidson, people would believe Ariana Grande in a second, because I mean, she's like
no, but I'm talking about like even like the news coverage, like the Megan Thee Stallion thing is like, is it all over the news and stuff? Like if Ariana Grande got shot by another pop star or another famous person, celebrity, it would be all over the news. This is
this was all over the news, but it's all over the news and like people like making jokes out of it, which is even worse. Like people were like, like Meg got shot, I guess, or like making memes and stuff and all of that, instead of actually like taking, like, this woman was injured, she was wounded fully.
I mean that's like a bigger look. I mean, I wonder what it's, even us, like when we're talking about it, like it's just like, are we desensitized? Like are we like getting to a point where and is there like a racial thing? Like if it
there's for sure a racial thing.
Like what is that?
Well, I mean, like if you think about it, like the black woman is the most forgotten and most oppressed woman one of, like, that's like a quote, I forget who said it, but because like, and the black women have, like, we've talked about it in prior things, like how even like other black female stars and whatever have come and always like stood up for the black men, because black men tend to be their reputation tends to be made to be violent or whatever, and they've always stood up for them and done all these things. Like I'm even thinking about in pop culture how they've been portrayed. Like I'm thinking about Empire and how Cookie Lyon was the one who took the fall for her husband in the show and things like that. And so like black women,
I think the bigger thing that like there's out there is like also because black women they know the struggle of black people right now, and it's like they're in a rock and a hard place of like trying to protect a black man, even like in a situation like Megan Thee Stallion, like she has every right to be scared that like it doesn't matter if he shot her foot, she probably does not want him to die by like lethal
by
force
police,
of like, police and stuff.
Exactly.
So, at which point I would understand why somebody would say something, especially, I don't know, it's just super complicated now because, that's like some lawyer stuff. Like, that's like when you get into a court of law, it's like, well, then she lied then. What makes you think she's not lying now? Like, and it gets complicated, especially when it's like someone like Tory Lane's had so much going for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, You know what it's like to be with like in a pool with you and Megan Thee Stallion and Kylie Jenner. Like you're at like the top of celebrityness, you know, and then the next day to just like have everything like be taken away, or you know, rightfully so.
But kind of back to what you said about the Ariana Grande versus Meg Thee Stallion, like if, you know, roles were reversed or whatever. I think it's an interesting thing because think about it, like technically Ariana is older than Meg, but you would never think that. And I think a lot of that has to do with like Meg is known. I mean, she's known for being a stallion. She's tall, she's big, she's in your face. And then there is Ariana Grande, who's known for kind of like making, like she's tiny. She's like very into like the whole baby doll look. She, and then also just like the general adultification of Black girls and boys is just so prevalent where, you know, where white boys and girls are treated like actual children in that kind of situation.
Yeah, it's just funny because like I think we'd want more answers, like demand more answers if it was somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, and right now we're just like content with this like kind of like weird like storyline going on right now and stuff. So, well, we'll have to see what happens to that. Most likely Tory Lanez is getting deported, right?
I mean, something like he's probably gonna get some sort of like charges or something
like
to that degree.
So like you can't be like shooting people in America when you're from another country, right?
Yeah.
So what else we got?
Let's do some talk.
Talk. Oh man.
Some talk in a hot second. Some of it's funny. So there's in TikTok world. It's not the TikTok world that I really follow, but in the TikTok world in general, the larger TikTok world, there's, you know, different creator houses. And we've talked about those before. There's even like kind of YouTube creator houses, stuff like that.
Like the Hype House.
Yes, like Hype House. And then there's Sway House, which is kind of like supposed to be the Hype House's rivals of sorts. And it's full of a bunch of very douchey looking dudes, including, you know, Bryce Hall, who
Do you think that these are all their real names though? Like, why do they all have like
these perfect names? Bryce Hall, Noah Beck, Blake Gray. Like literally, I saw like they're just all like the same motherfuckers. Like I don't know, they'll look the same. They just like are slightly. Some are more muscular, some are more e-boy.
Because
like,
they sound like Brad Pitt. Like you know, Brad Pitt is definitely not his real name. There's no way Brad Pitt is his real name.
No, my friend Christine, shout out to Christine, literally her family is like, they're from like the same area of town as the Pitt family, like in Missouri. Pitt is his last name.
No freaking way. Oh my God. It's not, his name is William Bradley Pitt.
But Pitt.
Jesus. But yeah, you see how
Don't
they be like.
Don't come for me with my Missouri
No,
stars.
but listen, you know how they be like, you know, freaking their name to be all cool and stuff, like just like Psy. Anyways,
But so Bryce Hall, 21st birthday, he hosted a big fucking party. I don't think a little Brycey remembered that we are in a global pandemic. And like some of the other influencers were like, well, what is he supposed to do? It's his 21st. I'm like, bitches, are you kidding me? But so, and they had been hosting huge parties here and there for a while. And so the like city of LA was like, all right, you guys asked for it. We're going to make you an example now. Like, here we go. And they shut off their water and power.
Oh my God, I just Googled Jake Gyllenhaal, and that's actually his real name too.
Yes, because his sister's name is Maggie Gyllenhaal. Come on.
Ah, these people. It's got to be like Charlie Sheen. Okay, let's go with that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's his name too.
No. It's Estevez. Emilio Estevez is his brother, and Estevez is their actual name. Martin Sheen actually made up his name too, I think. So.
That's right. I forgot about that.
But anyway, sorry. Back to the Sway House. These boys. So what? The mayor or something like shut off their power.
Yeah, they shut off the power.
I was hearing Joe Rogan talking about this, and it is kind of crazy to think about, like, just because you throw a party or a big party, like, in your own house, that, like, someone has the right to, like, shut off, like, your essential, like things for your essential needs.
Well, yeah. I mean, because they were breaking different, they were violating different health orders. You okay?
Whatever,
you
though,
okay?
that's their house.
I know. Well, and then I guess the other one, technically, the party that they had for Bryce was thrown at, like, that party was thrown at a house that they rented. But they've been throwing other parties at their place. But I mean, like, so if they're breaking code, if they're violating different orders, then I guess technically the city can disconnect their utilities.
That's stupid. They should be able to, like, that. There should be like a fine or something like that. Like, you can't be shutting people's shit off because you don't like their parties. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
but maybe there are some, like, their ordinances. Like, I think there's like some neighborhood ordinances or something that are there for the neighborhood, so they don't have like douchebag kids coming and making loud noises.
Exactly. So
probably
I'm sure it has
a
a lot
rampant
of
problem in LA. But what else we got?
All right. So TikTok is having a creator fund. So they just introduced it. It's like $200 million that they're actually upping to grow to $1 billion in the US in the next 3 years, and to hopefully double that across the globe for other creators. But the whole point is that, you know, they want to start giving money to creatives on the app. And so you can apply if you meet certain, like, I think follower and view requirements. Like, you have to have a certain amount of followers. Like, I forget, it's like in the thousands. It might be similar to like Instagram where it's like 10K or something.
So what?
Like that.
It's like investing in the creator to use the platform.
So yeah, so what it does is it will pay them per, like, every 1,000 views they'll get, or every however many views they'll get, like 3 cents. And then, you know, over time they'll be making money. And it's supposed to, like, you know, yeah, it's supposed to be investing in the creators to keep using.
I wonder how this is different than YouTube giving you, like, letting you monetize it with advertisements. Like, are they just going to use their own advertisements and that's how they make their money back on this $1 billion fund or whatever?
Well, I mean, yeah, because they have their own ads and stuff like that. And I mean, technically, like, a lot of the bigger creators are making money because they have partnerships and ad deals and whatever, similar to any, you know, influencer and other platforms. But I guess, like, I think this is supposed to be kind of like their way to, like, show that they're supporting various different creators. So, like, not because the main creators that have a lot of those sponsorship deals tend to be, you know, the upper, you know, the Hype House, Sway House, Addison Rae's, Charlie D'Amelio kind of folks who got in and, like, exploded and, like, kind of did it on their own, where they're trying to, like, also get in, like, like, other big, like, well-known creators that maybe fall into more of, like, the LGBTQ sphere, or different spheres that aren't just, like, the typical, like, let's dance and, like, look hot and be in our houses in LA. And I guess they're also going to have a fund for emerging teachers on the platform, to help them, because there are a lot of teachers that, like, do different things on TikTok, and things like that. So it looks like they're trying to make their platform, you know, more viable to some of these people. I
don't know. I don't know if TikTok, I don't know, like, if TikTok is going to be as important as everyone thinks it is. Like, do you think?
I don't
TikTok
know. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about it. I've seen a lot of people writing about it. I've seen a lot of people.
What are they saying?
Just saying, like, that it's, you know, that you should try to get on it. You should, you know, it's been, I mean, because technically Musically, which what it once was in that sphere for a while, and then they took it over. And I think, I mean, it's definitely boomed during this quarantine because people have used it as an outlet to try new things, or, you know, do the stupid dances, or just create their own comedy bits and whatever. So, like, I think especially in a world where performances are looking different, it could potentially continue to have high engagement. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Maybe,
I don't see it going away anytime soon. One of those
things where I just got old and I don't understand it. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, what will people look back? How will people look back on like TikTok like one day? Like, I don't know, but
I don't know. They'll look back at it in a lot of different ways. They'll be like, oh, people did a lot of dances to WAP and Renegade. And they'll also be like, oh, people like talked about, different issues, and people talked about different kinks, and people talked about different educational stuff. So there's a lot on there. There's a lot going on. So it's interesting.
Understand it.
I know, it's hard.
I go on there, I'm like, I don't even know what to look. I don't even know how to look at it. Like, I don't even know how to look at. I look at TikToks through like other like through like Instagram and through Facebook, like on like Reels, or like somebody's posting them or something.
Yeah, or like if I send you some.
Yeah, it's very weird. But anyways, what else we got?
Oh, so kind of TikTok, kind of other things, but kind of it's like the intersection, I guess. Kellyanne Conway, known advisor for Donald Trump, has stepped down from her position, or said that she's stepping down. I think she'll fully be done with her position when the campaign, when the election happens. And also her husband stepped down from his position. And it happened like the day after. Their daughter, Claudia Conway, is known. She's 15. She's known for being super progressive. She's all over TikTok, pretty much kind of shitting on like what her mom and dad and stuff have done, and like exposing different things that they've like, potentially done to try to silence her, or different things like that. And it's just, she's become like a huge person on TikTok because of how she like talks about her views and everything like that. And she pushed to saying like, I can't believe my mom is speaking at the RNC and like doing all this stuff. Like, it makes me sick. Like, I'm pushing to be emancipated from my parents. And then right after she first published that stuff, then both her parents said they were stepping down for family things. They wanted to be there for their kids because their kids are all teens, including her. And they're like,
it's totally not good. Like when your your underage kid is like got a voice like that, completely against the highest of things. Like I can't even really wrap my mind around it. Like, how do they like? Where is she doing this from? Their house? Like, where are they doing it? From her room? Like, on the phone that they provide her? Like, what's going on here? Like, you can't even control your kid. How are we supposed to control this country? Like,
Yeah.
It's a terrible look. I would get rid of them too.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy because, I mean, we've seen how TikTok impacted the Trump's rally, because there was a whole campaign with TikTok videos being like, hey, you can go to this link. Like, it's not like it's not like I told you that you could go to this link and reserve a free ticket to Trump's rally and then, not show up on this day, like whatever, because it pretty much, that's what led to his whole rally, partially led to his whole rally being like mostly empty. And so like these Gen Zers, they're out here like really like pushing stuff because of how viral these things get.
This is not even like fair though. Like, like if you think about how messed up this world is now, like that like kids could affect the election and they can't even vote, but then they can also emancipate themselves. So it's like, they can emancipate themselves, but then they can't vote.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, where is the line of kids like having a right to be able to vote? Or like, I mean, if they have a voice, it's kind of crazy already, right? Like,
yeah.
If they're affecting political campaigns. I mean, that one's directly related because it's
for
the
sure.
Conway kid, but I mean, it's just really bad. And also like her like allegations of her dad like abusing her and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, to me, it's always kind of crazy, like, to hear kids talk about, like, abuse. Like, just because I come from a different time where, like, we were, like, reprimanded if we were, like, in trouble. Like, it's not like, I mean, yes, I guess you could call it abuse at any point because it's just, like, your parents doing it. But, like, I don't know. Like, it's just a weird thing. Were they punishing her for something really bad that she did? I did a bunch of bad things I probably should have been punished for. I probably wouldn't have learned my lesson growing up. Like, sometimes, like, if there wasn't, like, I mean, I don't know, like a belt. Like my dad's like gone now, so it's not like you could cancel my dad. But like yeah, like growing up, like there was times where I was like spanked with a belt or like some or shoe or something like that. But I wouldn't go back and be like when I was a kid, I'd be like, this is abuse. But when you grow up, like you kind of realize like there's just sometimes like you don't learn, like it's like I don't know, it's a weird thing. I don't know how to explain it. Like is it punishment? Like is it fair punishment or is it abuse? Like just because a dramatic kid on TikTok has a voice and knows that those are like hot words that like people are gonna be like like
I mean there's a ton of different like discussions around corporal punishment or like whatever, just like hitting your kids or not hitting your kids or how you punish your kids or whatever and what that looks like. And I mean, I don't even think I could begin to get into a discussion about that. But yeah, it's interesting to see how, because TikTok is such a big platform and it's full of a lot of like teens, underage folks, like how they can have like such a, I mean, yeah, we were growing up in a different time where like we couldn't just take our phone and be all like, world, look what's happening to me. Like it's totally different.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Trust me, I know. I mean, like even now, like I think it's more of like just the times too. It's just also like more education on those type of things. Like, there's also more resources for like if you're having trouble with your kid and stuff. Like back in the day, it was just like you mess up.
Good luck. Yeah.
But I mean, look at it though. Like it's almost like I don't know. It's a weird thing because like there's you don't want like to hit your kid obviously, but like, dude, sometimes like your kid will mess up so bad in the future. Like, just like this one time of him learning, like getting spanked on the butt might change like the course of like his life because like he just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he's just like, I don't want to like ever be like hit again. Like, when people say like getting punched in the face, like, like you're like, I don't know if you've ever like, people don't punch people in the face anymore, but like back in the day, I mean, like, I don't know. You just don't see fights. Like people are just like, dude, what'd you hit? Like you don't hit people, like, but back in my day, like people used to fight. Like it was like how you settled problems, like, and, but sometimes like when you're talking shit, even as like a teen and you're fighting, you realize like, sometimes I'm not going to talk shit because like I'm going to get punched in the face. It's kind of like that type of thing on like a lesser scale. Like,
I mean, yes, but I feel like there are so many better ways to like handle that.
Sure, that's exactly how I started my sentence. Is like people don't do that much anymore. But there was an essence in like there's something in you getting punched in the face after you saying something you probably shouldn't have that will wake you up like to learn. Wow.
Scared straight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's that. There's that aspect of it. I just think like I don't know. That's an interesting topic in itself. But so yeah, that's gonna be kind of crazy. So what's gonna go on like for Trump? Like who's he replacing her with and stuff?
I'm not really sure who he's replacing her with. I mean, because I think she's gonna finish her, like she's gonna be on until the election at least, and like even if he does get reelected, I'm sure he could probably fill her role with somebody else like within their campaign and everything like that.
The longer he keeps her around, it's a ticking time bomb. But why don't we get into well, do we have any more quick hits?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
So Squidbillies fired a show on Adult Swim, Squidbillies, has this actor, Stuart D. Baker, and he was ousted from his role because he said this whole thing about Dolly Parton right after she had a Billboard interview. She's promoting, she has a Christmas album coming out. Nothing like Christmas in August. And she was, talking about different stuff, had a Billboard interview, and she talked about how, she grew up as poor as the poor, just stuff like that in Appalachia, but she supports like the Black Lives Matter movement, things like that. And he came out and was saying like that she's a freak tittied, I believe is what the word is, old Southern bimbo and a slut, and that she's forsaking her own race, culture, and heritage by supporting Black Lives Matter. So,
jeez,
him saying all this on Facebook and whatever, definitely is not a good look if you want to keep a job. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, constantly, dude. Like, I'm thinking about things we say. Like, this guy can't be saying that stuff. Like, that was Veronica had those in quotes actually, so she didn't really say that. That was him saying that.
No, yeah, that's what.
But
his
if you're
quote
coming
was.
after anybody, her name is Veronica DeStefano. You can find her on the Future Bachelor. Every Thursday.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's crazy. I thought it was pretty dope of Dolly Parton, someone in country music, a legend in the game, an OG, to speak out and support Black Lives Matter. That's definitely something that should be, I mean, not super celebrated. Like, I'm not sitting here being like, go Dolly, because you're doing something that everyone should be doing, but because she knows how powerful her voice is.
Yeah, and she's been, long entrenched in like the culture she's been long entrenched with, like, has always been sexist and racist and whatever. And so she knows like her place, and she's always been one to uplift people, especially, poor folks. And like, she has her imagination reading fund. She has all of her different stuff that she does. She's like donated to Black Lives Matter. She's donated to a bunch of different stuff. Like, honestly, she's amazing. I love her. But it's good to, I mean, I'm not one to give cookies. But I think it's good that, she's like, I know what I look and I appear to be, but like, that ain't it, dog.
Word. Well, what made you go yikes this week? Or what made everyone go yikes this week? Everyone
went yikes this week because there was a story posted on Facebook by, I think it was just NBC News. And it said how, Usain Bolt, fastest man on the planet, had contracted coronavirus. But the preview image with that link post on Facebook was a picture of Kevin Hart.
Yo, so I'm going to have to sit here and say that this is ridiculous. Like, first of all, they got so much publicity. Like, I don't actually know if it's NBC News, but like the post got so much publicity.
Yeah, it was NBC News.
So, and how do you pick like one of the biggest stars, like with the biggest following, a comedian who is going to probably say something funny about it? Like, this is ridiculous. It's like when Starbucks writes like your wrong name on your cup and you like post it on your IG story or Snapchat being like, oh my God, look, they called me. Like the other day, like today, I went and grabbed coffee and they spelled my name like Z-I, which I was like, oh, that's cool.
You're like, honestly, cool.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool. Let me IG this. Then I was like, wait a second. I'm not going to give Starbucks. I already gave them money, but I'm not going to give them free promo. Who do you think I am? TikTok?
Okay.
No. But no, I mean that's ridiculous. Kevin Hart's like, he's like, this is disrespectful on so many levels. And I could just picture him saying it like being funny. He's like, this is disrespectful on so many levels. I love when Kevin Hart is being funny. But
yeah, I mean, it's funny. So like, as someone, we work for a company, a media company, and it's like someone who works specifically with this kind of stuff. Like, this is literally like a metadata issue. It's like when you set up posts to go to like Facebook and stuff like that, like how it pulls that preview link is based on like your metadata in your story. So it's like, that's shitty that like your metadata is like, just what is your metadata pulling from that? It's like, black man.
But yeah, no.
Like top black, like here's all of our top black man
got
stories.
Three to shuffle through. No,
Yeah.
I mean, but like on some like, yeah, it's funny, kind of. I mean, it's not funny that he has coronavirus, but like I wasn't even seeing like get well, Yushin. Like it wasn't any of that. It was just like what the like hell is like Kevin Hart's picture being here? But when because we do work in this type of stuff, like it's also about credibility though too. Like you don't want to have. Like, how much credibility do you have as a news organization when you're trying to put out a story and you got the wrong picture of the person on the top of your article,
Yeah.
To
and
us,
it's
that
all-
would be like an immediate, like, oh, like red flag, like sent up to like get changed immediately type thing.
Yeah, and they posted a correction and said, like, the previous version of the article that included the incorrect photo on some platforms, i.e. Facebook, due to technical problem, i.e. their metadata. This, like, photo depicted Kevin Hart. It's been replaced with a photo of Usain Bolt. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the only thing that I could see is like they both have the same amount of letters in their first and their last name. Like,
yeah, it's just probably like however their metadata was pulling from like their photo banks and things like that. It must have just like accidentally pulled the wrong. But it looks awful because it's like, oh, black guys look the same. Like,
yeah, this is not the time for those mix-ups.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna take a little curveball here, and you don't even know because I just came up with this topic, but it's a mini topic, and we're gonna save this one for another time that we had chosen before. But it's only because I want to talk about OnlyFans and how much OnlyFans has. Like, what is your thoughts on it? Like, I've been seeing like, Bella Thorne, the old Disney star, like now is like an adult. She's made like porns, like directed porns and stuff like that. Not been in them, but she just got an OnlyFans and it like crashed the servers. She made like $2 million in 48 in like just 48 hours.
Crazy.
And she didn't even like. They're just suggestive photos. She doesn't actually like post nudes. So like, this is changing the game. Like, why work for, all these like 40 hours a week, Veronica? Like, I'm asking you. When you got goods that could make you a millionaire in a weekend.
Okay,
what's stopping you from starting an OnlyFans? This is what I want to talk about.
This is interesting because, like, yeah, I see a lot of, honestly, TikToks of people talking about how they joined OnlyFans and they set up an account. They only do, like, bikini or, like, like lingerie photos and stuff like that, and how they've made thousands of dollars or whatever. Obviously, they're not like Bella Thornes. They're like normal people like me. But like they're making like, thousands of dollars within like the first couple weeks, months, whatever. And it's interesting because like, I guess like, how it's set up is that you can have, your specific photos. People, you can set, how much money people have to pay.
How does it stop people from just not recording it and putting it all over the internet, or like taking a screenshot of a picture? And that's what I don't understand.
I don't know all the technicalities to how that works.
You would think that the second it goes on OnlyFans, there's going to be like a website there like OnlyFans free, .com, where it has everyone's like stuff that someone's just recording and getting their money off of just flipping. I guess you could get sued.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't know.
Well,
that
there's
aspect.
like just interesting things happening right now. Like, did we talk about the comedian Brian Callen? I mean, we talked about what's his name? See, he's been out of the limelight for so long now. I'm like forgetting people's names. What's his name? Chris D'Elia.
D'Elia, yeah.
Wow, how fast you forget people. We're gonna like watching me next week be like, what's his name? Tory Lanez. But Chris D'Elia. We're talking about Brian Callen is like another comedian that like had an allegation against him, and he's kind of had to drop off. But he had a podcast with another comedian named Brendan Schaub, and it's called Fighter and the Kid. And because of like the allegations, he stepped away from the podcast, and because there's advertisers and all, like there's money in it, so now it's just being run by the one host. But now they have started another podcast called Fighter in the Rinks, which is just him and Brian Callen, but it's behind a paywall of OnlyFans. So if you want to hear them together, you just pay the $5. Or whatever, $10 a month.
So it's like they do that instead of Patreon. Interesting.
Well, Yeah, because it's like, first of all, it's like, well, because it's the reason why they're doing that is because it's like people still want to hear Brian Callen and Brian and Schaub on The Fighter and the Kid, but because that's a public facing, there's advertisers already attached to that very well known podcast. We're gonna do another one behind a paywall where only people that really want to see it. It's like you won't see it unless you want to pay for it, you know, which is actually pretty smart for a person.
Why wouldn't they just do it under a Patreon? Same thing.
No, Patreon doesn't have a paywall. Like, I guess they could. OnlyFans are just hotter right now.
Patreon is you pay to have access to specific stuff.
That's like, why do we post all of our promotional stuff on IG Story, but we don't do it on Snapchat? It's because it's just the more popular platform right now, you know? OnlyFans is hot, and it's like not just for porn. Like, I mean, if you're going there, like, yeah, like at first people were weary about using it because I think like there was only one porn star that started doing it, and then all the girls were like, holy crap, there's like a gold mine. Think about it. Like, even for guys, like I'm sure there's like people out there that would be like, I wonder what Psy looks like in like whitey tighties, and then like pay $5 in 1 month to see me in like whatever, like, or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've talked about how former Bachelorette star Chad Johnson has like a full
OnlyFans, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want to talk about how, like, I feel like with podcasts, not everyone's a podcaster. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, do you think like OnlyFans in a couple years, everyone's gonna be like a amateur porn star or like doing these type of things? Because like right now, when you don't have money, there's no jobs. Like, you know, the only thing you can really trade right now is like photos of yourself. Or your feet. I don't know why people love feet so much, but
there's a foot fetish is a thing, you know,
real thing. And that alone, like if I were you, I would get an OnlyFans for your feet. Like what? Like how would that even get you fired from your job? I don't even understand. Like I'm legit just taking photos of my feet. Like I would do that if I were you.
Are you telling me this personally? Like you're like
only feet. That's dude. That's all you're gonna put on there, man. And I'm telling you, you will make at least an extra couple grand a month.
Honestly,
like we should do it as an experiment. Like start an OnlyFans, and just see and be like, hey guys, I started an OnlyFans for my feet. It's a joke, but let's see how much money I can make. And then just like let it spread. And like how is that dirty? Like I don't understand how that would be dirty. Like honestly, like if my mom could make money doing it, I would be like, Mom, start an OnlyFans for your feet. Like,
oh my god,
let's buy a house.
So then like on OnlyFans, you know, you can like set, so once like people like subscribe to you, they can send you messages. I think that's the whole allure of OnlyFans that like makes it different. Like if you're going there for more like porn content or kink content, I think the allure is that like for
there's a better like experience with the person.
You can have like an interaction.
Yeah.
So like you can pay more to like talk more or pay more to get specific things. Like I think I saw a TikTok that talked about how one girl got a message from like an OnlyFans person of them asking her to send a video of her picking up stuff with her feet. It didn't matter what she picked up, but just like random stuff flying around. And that's what they wanted to see. And they were going to pay her extra money.
Yeah. Like I bet you there's like, and then there's like the extra tier where it's like, I will run a mile in these socks and send them to you with a picture of my foot. Like my feet right after I took off the socks. What is wrong with these sick people? Like there's like I can't even like muster up myself to sometimes buy things that I need like to keep myself happy on Amazon. Like and people have money to spend on other people's feet. I just I don't get it. It's blowing my mind right now. I can't understand why.
I mean, you know,
I don't even look at my feet like that. I don't even like.
Do you hate feet?
No, I don't hate feet. I just don't love them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't hate things, but I don't like go out and like try to buy them. You know?
So, okay. So I guess, are we talking about, so now to get kind of back to this whole mini main topic about OnlyFans, like,
sorry,
I guess, are you saying like
this is like an OnlyFans / feet like mini main topic.
So like what's stopping people from maybe potentially starting OnlyFans? Like what's stopping me personally?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I know
don't
what it
like,
is.
Is it
It's
an
like,
issue of morality? Like, do I feel immoral, or do I feel?
or like in 10 years from now, are the morals that we have of ourselves and our body like going to be different? Where like, damn, I should have fucking got on this like when it started. I would have been a millionaire by now, because now I'm doing it for like chump change or for free.
Yeah,
like,
what is so like,
now
and
it's like
then-
everyone has like a foot space. Like, you know, it's like everyone has a social media for their feet. Like, you know, it's like Footstagram.
that
Like,
would mean that everybody would have a
feet
foot
book. It's gonna be
fetish.
like feet book, like, you know, and I just think it's like a stock that like I'm like I can't, because I come from the old school, but like
Okay.
if I was younger, I would.
I love how
do
you're
different
using
things.
old school to be like, nah, not me, but V, you should get on.
Yeah, you're from the new school, and you're a girl.
We're
you
in
know?
the same generation.
I'm just saying. No, we're not. I wouldn't
Yes,
say
we're both millennials.
Yeah, but like I know millennials. Like I feel like millennials are broken into. There's like a separation in millennials. There's,
Yeah, but we're not that different.
yeah,
Saya.
but I'm just telling you, we do come from different classes. Like legit, you had the Jonas Brothers. I had Hanson. That's our different shit. Like those are like a very long time apart. And but like, you know, when it comes to that, I just think like I come from like the type of time where you're like scared of putting your phone number on the internet. Now it's like you can find out any information about anyone.
I mean, I'm still scared to put my phone number on the internet.
Yeah, but if you don't think like people couldn't find your phone number somehow on the internet, you know,
Oh, I know, because I've searched for people's phone numbers on Facebook
but
and
yet
found
we
it.
put out so much, like, you know, revealing like our location and all these different things. Like someone could legit find you if they wanted to, like, they're like, I want to go murder you right now, and you're
Yeah.
posting on Instagram and
You sound like this new Quibi show called like The Stranger. That's literally the
you
whole
watching that
premise
Quibi?
of it.
Because I've been seeing them push hard. What are they, like 5-minute shows or something?
10-minute shows. Yeah, I don't have Quibi. If you
It's
want
kind
to
of
get
genius though. It's kind of a genius type of idea.
Yeah.
It's but anyways, but yeah, I don't know. I just think it's kind of like I come from that time where it's like I'm scared to like have some like that little piece of information, but like yet we're out here like posting all these different things.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I don't know personally like all the security. I mean, you have to like submit like a
You
copy.
don't have
of
one
your-
friend that has OnlyFans?
I really should ask. I mean, I probably because I have had
I do
friends
think
that
it's one of those things that people like wouldn't tell people though. Like I get it, because it's like
No, I
I'm gonna
mean,
make this
'cause
secret money real quick, and
people are pretty public about it on TikTok about like, and like they give people tips on like how to do it, or people even on TikTok. I seem to I don't know what TikTok's telling me, but like I seem to get a lot of videos in my For You page that are like girls being like follow me if you want to get tips of like how to get your OnlyFans up and running, or you're seeking arrangements. So like people looking for like sugar daddies and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, maybe I need to be cashing in on one of these. But
yeah, it's crazy because like I think it's interesting because, you know, someone like you know, Bella Thorne only having like pictures of herself like in a bikini or in like lingerie and stuff. It's like we're like girls are legit giving that stuff out for free right now. If guys like didn't have your Instagram and like your Instagram was just like you like fully clothed, but you're like, here's my OnlyFans if you want to see me in my bikini and all that stuff. I'm telling you, like, you know, the game has changed. People will pay $5 a month to see like Judy from work in her bikini. That'd be the craziest thing too, knowing like the guys that are actually paying money or like creating like accounts to see you. Like, I don't know. It's just a different world we're living in right now. It's really crazy, especially like the times we're in right now. Like people are desperate, like, and it's not even that desperate to do. Like people are like straight up like doing it because they know it's money.
yeah, I mean, and it's interesting because like, I mean, I know people who have been in sex work or like have been sex workers or do sex work to some degree. And I mean, that's fine and dandy. And this is like a subsection of sex work. So, I mean, and I don't have an issue with people doing sex work at all, obviously. So it's just like, yeah, I feel like I've even seen some TikToks of like
But
girls
yeah,
being
like
all,
how is this not like prostitution? Like and if like how is there like no, because there's no sex, but like people are
Yeah.
definitely gonna meet up if they want to, like, through this stuff. Like, and I never thought prostitution, as long as, like, you know, no one's getting hurt and both parties are like completely like complicit with it. Like, you know, there's other situations where people are like, you know,
Yeah, if you're like sex trafficked, that's a whole different
different thing. But like, if people, like grown people, want to sell themselves and they're doing it safely, you know, whose business is that besides their own? So, you know, I that's my only thing. My thing is like, what kind of culture are we gonna live in? Is everybody gonna have an OnlyFans, you think?
I don't know. Like, that's an interesting thing because, like, I feel like I've been seeing, especially like in this,
Like, is Future Bachelor gonna start an OnlyFans? Like, it's like we're here,
be
we're
like,
talking about
who
this.
do you want? Who do you want?
Yeah, who do you want?
Whose feet?
You want V's feet or you want size feet? That's what that
know.
should be our OnlyFans. Like, watch that be like the reason why we blow up.
People are like, Future Bachelor.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. Feature Bachelor.
Future Bachelor. Jesus. Oh man. Well, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know if I'm against it or for it, or like if this is just part of like kind of this WAP / like sexually positive revolution of things, and like, because like on TikTok, I feel like I've brought up TikTok a lot today, but like a lot of these like spaces and niches like are more, you know, public on there that I've been able to see or learn. Like, I see a lot of different things about OnlyFans, seeking arrangements, kink talk is a thing. Like, just like, you know, people in like the kink world, like BDSM or like DOMs and subs and all these different things and like all these different roles. Like, is this becoming, are we starting to like really destigmatize like this kind of work or these kinds of things? Is that like what's actually happening? I don't know. Are we just getting smart to actually sell our body? Like, you know, like why do I
Well,
post,
do you think
like,
there should be a separation in society between sex and just like everyday life? Like,
I'm not saying
should
that there
sex
can't-
bleed into like a normal day, all day? Like, you know?
all day? I mean, like, I think sex shouldn't be thought of as so taboo because it's like a natural human desire, unless you're like asexual, and then it's not. Or
I just
other
feel like
different.
we need it. Then, like, there's just so many different pillars of society that are just like crumbling down as we speak. Just like one crumbles, it just doesn't make sense. Like, all right, then why do we got 9 to 5s? Like, I don't, you know, like, I don't
Yeah.
know. To me, like, that's just crazy because, like, all right, if we are destigmatizing like a penis or a boobie or something, you know,
Penis or a booby? Yeah, go on.
a penis or boobie. Obviously, it's not that to stigmatize yet, but
Well, the way that you said it. Okay, go
well, I
on.
didn't say it anyway.
Yeah, you did.
If we say like a PP or a boobie, there's going to be like, why, like if that could make me money right now, like more money than I do like 40 hours a week, why wouldn't a person do that?
And then I guess that just comes down to like, you know, different morals or
Right.
values or things that people have either, you know, instilled in themselves, been socialized to think, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I think, you know, and
I
that's
feel
all
bad for
valid
the
and
parents. I
fine.
always feel bad for parents. That's like, you know, it's all fine until family gets involved. Like, you know, that stuff is out there for your dad's friend to see.
Yeah, your
for,
dad's
you know.
friend is like your top subscriber.
Yeah. For sure.
Your daughter's got some great feet.
Yeah, and what are you supposed to do? Like, it's like, Dad, Jim just paid like the highest tier on my OnlyFans. I thought you should know, but I don't think there's anything you can do about it. Jim, are you? No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. And it's like it turns into this weird thing in society where it's like Jim gets to look at V's feet and still be your dad's boss, like, you know. And this is all hypothetical situation here that I just made up.
Yeah, I know.
There's
Sai's
no
really
real
trying
Jim.
to push me to like put my feet out there for people.
To me, it's just like free money. I don't understand.
I
Like,
know,
I don't get
but why are you making me? You're like V. I mean,
Do you think
should
I can
just
make
do
money
it.
off of feet?
I'm
Do
sure
guy?
you could.
I just don't hear guys Like we have too much hair on our toes.
I'm sure there's a lid for every pot side.
Yo, I will start an OnlyFans for my feet, and if that thing pops off, it'd be crazy.
All right.
It'd be like you could hear my songs like a day early, and you get my feet. Oh man. Anyways, yeah. Well, maybe we'll get
what a topic.
Yeah.
What a topic to surprise me with.
Sorry, I just thought it was interesting. It's popular right now. I just feel like OnlyFans. Like I feel like we're gonna start seeing a lot more like celebrities you would never think, like a Kylie Jenner or a Kendall Jenner, like doing an OnlyFans and it's like setting off like, and they'll just make a quick million.
I'm trying to think. Like I feel like I saw like some sort of, not like a Kylie Jenner, but maybe like some sort of musical artist or somebody to some degree, or somebody like a creator level who was doing an OnlyFans kind of for that same, like for content, or like behind the scenes stuff or that kind of stuff, which is interesting because similar to like what we were saying at the top, like there's Patreon, which technically you could use for that, but it's like, why are we going to OnlyFans instead? Because it is like everyone's like, an OnlyFans.
I just wish
it's like literally like the sexy platform right now.
I know.
Like,
I guess what bums me out about OnlyFans is what bums me out is like I don't have anything that I could go on OnlyFans with and make a bunch.
You
of money
don't know
with.
that.
No, I don't have anything that I'm willing to do. That I know things like if I whip like my pee out, like
You don't even have to whip your pee out.
What do I got to do?
You could potentially there could be people out there looking for some like swim trunk pictures of you, or just like even like.
First of all, I feel like, really weird if there was only 8 people that were like searching for that. Like 8 people are paying me like a combined. Like it'd just be really weird. Like I'm like, yeah, making like $60.
Maybe people are into
month.
Like guys with earrings. You don't know. There's so many different like kinks and fetishes. They could be like into whatever. They could be into your hands. Who knows?
Nah, I don't know. I wish I just knew. I just wish I knew. Like I feel like a girl knows, like she can get on there and get on some lingerie, and the guys are gonna come in.
Our bodies have been sexualized and like commoditized for our entire lives. So
right.
Yeah, of course we
know. But I don't have anything. Like I can't. I don't think I could get in a bathing suit, and people would be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pay $5 a month for that." I'm just putting that out there. Wow, wow, wow.
You've got the.
Sometimes me doing it myself reminds me to push the actual sound effect. But
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't have anything now. Like if I were famous, like I feel like if you're famous, you could do anything behind a paywall, and people would like pay like some type of money for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, if you have like some sort of fame or you have some sort of allure already, yeah, people want to see additional stuff, whether it's additional body or if it's like additional like exclusive content, So who's to say?
I just wonder what like would happen if I started an OnlyFans and like someone like just like paid the $5 for 1 month just to see what it was, and it wasn't anything besides like my music videos and like pictures of me still like just like without sleeves.
Pictures of you in sunglasses looking off into the distance.
Like what would one do? Like can I get my money back? Like no, you paid for this. I didn't tell you what you were paying for. But like, and what if they were like, just leave it, and then they just stay. Anyways, okay, well, OnlyFans, guys. Let me know if you get one, because I'll check it out. I mean, just like to see what you got going on.
Just for research, science.
For podcast research purposes.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into. Do we have any Bachelor updates or any news?
Quick Bachelor update. It's rumored that Matt James will be filming his season at the resort in Pennsylvania. That was from JoJo's season. That actually Chad got eliminated on his 2-on-1 date, but then like went back and like stalked the guy. So that's that tea there.
They've really done a really good job of keeping things under wraps for as crazy as these upcoming seasons sound like they're gonna be.
I know. Yeah, I think they don't start filming that until like later in September. So who's to say? Who's to say? All right.
Well, why don't we get into our slapper of the week?
Yay!
This week, I was scrolling through Instagram and I follow this, like, I think it's Aaron the Bassist. It's like this kid that plays bass and he like so freaking funky and good. And
Yeah.
I think he's only like 8 or something like that. But
Oh wow.
yeah, like he's like sick and he's like this kid. He plays like a grown up like big ass bass. Like I don't know, but he was playing the bass to this to our slapper of the week. And I was just like, damn, I've been like so into like real bass and songs lately. So this song, I think they just released a remix with Missy Elliott and Madonna. But these days, I don't really like remixes. I like the original more than the remixes. It's weird. I don't, because, you know, remixes were like a thing of like the 2000s where you got like a song and then you got some rappers or you got like a famous person to like come in. But now it's like the only reason why those people are hopping on the song of the remix is because the song is that hot. Like, you know, so it's not
Yeah,
like,
and I mean, if it's like the Madonnas and stuff, like I mean, Madonna's trying to grip to any sense of like relevancy. So
right. Like, I mean, even things like the Savage remix, I'd rather listen to the Megan Thee Stallion version than the Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion
I love
version.
the Savage remix, but
Well, that's just me though. I just feel like the artist usually hops on a hot song and tries to make it hotter, but how do you make something that's already like just plain hot by itself better? It's hard to do. But yeah, anyways, without further ado, why don't we just tell them what it is? It's Levitating by Dua Lipa, and it's really good. So let's just get into it.
hell yeah.
Slapper of the week. This song slaps.
Slap in the face, man! Yeah, Levitating by Dua Lipa, the original, baby. Slapper of the week. Yeah, no, that was a bop.
It's funny because sometimes I feel like we have a telepathic thing because when I've talked about it before, but like my friends do this like every 2 weeks we update a little playlist that we all submit several songs to, and then you know it makes up a full playlist. And Levitating, the OG version, was on the most recent playlist that I think was updated like last week. So I've been bopping to it as well.
Yeah, no, I just like in the last day. I mean, I saw the remix, I think on New Music or something. But
Me too.
You know, I don't know. Like I like Dua Lipa. A couple of her last songs, I wasn't really like adding, but this one I was like, okay.
I love this album that this is from. I love the whole album. So yeah, but she's great.
Yeah. Well, do you have any shout outs this week?
I do have some shout outs. So I wanted to shout out my best friend, Michelle. She, she as an OT and she just moved to Michigan and she's been looking for a new full-time job and she just got one. So that's exciting.
Nice.
And then I shouted out my friend Kim before, but it's actually her wedding weekend this weekend, and I will not be there. So I wanted to shout her out and, congratulate her on her nuptials. And then I had a couple birthday shout outs. Kelsey from this past week, my friend Naif, it'll be his birthday the day that this drops. And then my roommate, Rachel, it's her birthday this weekend.
Rachel! Happy birthday! Is she there?
No, she just left to go to her boyfriend, so.
Wow. Anyways, well, I'd like to give a special shout out to my mom and my pops. It was their 4th wedding anniversary this past week. So, yeah. I'm going to give them a air horn. And I love them. They still, they typically go on like a cruise every year, but because of COVID, I think they just did a little boat ride somewhere, but yeah, I mean, they are super happy. They're over there with my sister and my mom. Takes care of my nephew a lot, so they're all happy over there. I'm just happy for them and everything. So I just want to say I love you guys. So, all right, well, that's been our episode. I would say, dust off that feet, man, and
dust off those feet.
Get yourself a little
moisturize them
pedicure. And it's pedicure, right?
Yeah, it's a pedicure.
Pedicure. and get those feet on OnlyFans, because like you're missing out right now. There's a gold rush, and it starts with your feet. So if you guys are looking for extra money, I'm telling you, it's gotta be something there. Well, guys, go into your weekend. You got any fun plans this weekend?
I'm like looking at my planner from across the room. What do I have?
If you can't think, it's not that fun.
I have my Nest Zoom call. We try to do them kind of regularly, keep updated tomorrow night. So it's probably my only main plan.
Yeah, no, I have actually no plans, but going to make some probably, and I'll keep you guys updated for sure, like we do every week. So we're getting to the 130s. We're getting up there in these hundreds episodes.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, right. I mean, I feel like we're cruising to like 200 like really easy right now.
I know. Wow, knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Well, guys, we love you. Make sure to catch us next week. This has been Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And you know what it is. All right. Deuces.
Bye.